Well, hey there, my farmer friends. Welcome back to this week's edition of our video training in digital marketing. So I am your host, Corinna Bench. Let me just get my screen uploaded to make sure my head isn't cut off. Here we go. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Yep, there I am. Good. Today, we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, which is bonuses. How to create and craft an irresistible bonus for your CSA offer. And I didn't really know much about bonuses until about 1.5 years ago when I started studying online marketing. I'm sure I was always doing like some kind of an early bird incentive, like, yeah, I'll give you a discount, but that was kind of the gist of my creativity in terms of what I could think of. And as I began to look at what other online marketers were doing to get people to sign up, I really kind of expanded my creativity a little bit. And I was thinking maybe I could use some of these methods and modify them for a physical product like CSA to try and sweeten the deal a little bit. So I'm excited to talk to you about this because I have begun really executing bonuses, I think, pretty well in my business. And I think it's really made a difference. So today is going to be a really deep dive. I started talking about this a little bit in the training that I did on how to build a great offer. That's in the video archives of this page, which you can access, by the way, by going to the desktop view. I don't know if you can do it on mobile. I haven't been able to figure it out on mobile. But I know if you go to the desktop view of this page, on the left sidebar, there are some different sections. If you click on videos, it'll pull up a page that has all the video trainings I've ever done in this group, and so you can find it in there. But I did bring up this topic of bonuses at that time, and I promised that I would kind of go into more detail in a different training, and that's what this one is designed to do. I'm really going to have you think through the philosophy and theory behind it, why they're so beneficial, give you very specific examples of bonuses that you could use for a farm, for a CSA offer, and that go beyond just monetary discounts. I'm also going to talk about questions that you can ask to help you really find that perfect bonus. And at the end, give you some suggestions for how to position the bonus, which is a whole nother piece, which is hugely important. So before I get started, I just want to make sure you guys feel free to ask any questions during the broadcast. Depending on what they are, I may wait until the end to answer them. We'll kind of see how the flow goes. But I also want to remind you that you can still join my private Facebook group class. I'm doing a 3-part workshop series on how to develop and build a highly engaged private Facebook group for your CSA. And that cost is $89. It's 3 videos. It comes with a lot of other support materials to help you map that process out and have it ready within like 3 weeks to launch. Today is actually the last day that you can register for that because the first class is on Sunday. So if you want to do that, head over to sharedlegacyfarms.com/workshop and sign up. And that's the last time I'm going to bring it up because if you're like me, you're getting sick of hearing about it. So what is a bonus? Here we go. Let's start talking about it. What's a bonus? So a bonus is an incentive of some sort that you add on to your basic flagship offer, your basic CSA offer, or if you're selling something else, it's not a CSA membership, your basic offer, but the bonus is an incentive piece that you have added on. It's an extra part that helps sweeten the deal, all right? And I just want you to type into the comments, before we even start this training, your understanding as far as a bonus right now. Give me examples of a bonus that you have used to help sell your CSA. I really want this particular video to have a ton of content, a ton of comments from people who watch it so that we can one day go back to this and just scroll the comments and get ideas for other kinds of bonuses that we could add and other insights. So what have you tried so far? I have a feeling that we'll see a lot of early bird discounts and things like that. But if there's something else, type it in, and I'll ask you again later at the end of the broadcast here, of the video, to answer a slightly different version of that question. But if you have a second, type that in because I think that would be fun to see. The thing about bonuses is that once you learn how to make them, your creativity just kind of goes on fire. And I have become kind of a content creation junkie now. And Jamie is telling me that she's not seeing my video. Is everyone else seeing my video? I can see my video. Let me know if you guys can't see it. And let me check. Hang on, hold on, Jamie. There are 2 people who are on. You guys quick comment and let me know if you can hear me. There's just 2 of you on right now. I'm gonna keep talking, but I'll keep checking. Thanks, Jamie, for messaging me. I don't have someone behind the camera to help me. Okay, so the thing about bonuses is that once you figure out how to make them, how to find them, your creativity just goes wild. And I have now created a whole bunch of different elements that I can use essentially as bonuses. I'll share a bunch of them with you at the end. So that now I have this huge library of things that I can piece together. So the secret to, at least for me, for becoming a bonus, really good at making bonuses is that I have really embraced the idea of content creation. But I'll get into that a little bit later. So why are bonuses important? Let's spend a few minutes talking about that. First of all, they enhance the overall product that you're selling because it increases the perceived value, right? If you add on this extra element that seems really valuable to someone, if it's the right bonus that you've tapped into, it's going to make your offer look much more valuable. And if the bonus is really, really stellar and you've picked it out just right, you can even justify increasing the price of your offer and not feeling bad about it. I know that now that my private Facebook group, for instance, is so valuable, and I know that that's where the customer retention piece is happening, and that's where the customer excitement is happening. We're doing a really good job of what we teach in there. The second year around when I offered it, I was like, I'm raising my price like $40 bucks, and I didn't even feel bad about it because I knew that that was so valuable to my members, and they didn't even blink. And I talked about that as a really important feature. But that could be something that you say is a bonus if you know that it's going to be really, really valuable. Bonuses are also important because they can help you, again, give the perception of really over-delivering to your customer. And diving in, if you dive into a particular topic that may not fit the main product, but it leads to the next step in the customer journey, and it kind of teaches them the next thing, or it gets them to the next place, it makes them feel like, wow, you are going above and beyond to try and get me to grow in where, to my desired end state. So also a great bonus can help your customers get to the finish line faster. And for a lot of people, that is something that they highly value. If you can help them either automate something or save time, that is a huge, huge gift to them. Or save money, save time. Those are very valuable to people. So if you can get someone to the finish line faster using your bonus, that will often entice them. The bonus is oftentimes the reason why people sign up earlier, because if it's really valuable and it sweetens the deal, it makes that person want the offer so bad that they're willing to do it now. And especially if you have a sense of like a timeline around it where this bonus is only around for the first 4 days, it can be the tipping point that causes somebody to finally get their back against the wall and say, I want this. And I know that for many of us, at least for me, when I began selling CSAs for the longest time, I would have people say, yeah, I'd love to do that, but then they would never do it until end of May. Some of them would finally do it. And I would think to myself, well, if you want to do it, then why aren't you signing up now? I need your signups now. But if you have a really awesome bonus that's kind of during your promotion period earlier on in the season, and it's not available later, that you can get people to say, I'm gonna decide now. All right. So what makes a bonus irresistible? Well, number one, if it helps your customer go deeper or go farther along after they've consumed your product. Okay, so they bought your CSA. If your bonus can help them use that product even better or go even deeper, get better and better at it, that is a good bonus. That's an irresistible bonus. If it helps your customer get results faster, we already talked about that. So again, I'm going to bring up my private Facebook group membership because that is the place where people are learning certain kinds of content, learning certain tricks and hacks and how to get through the CSA box. These CSA newbies that join You all know that the first 2 years of CSA are tough because they're making mistakes. They haven't figured out how to eat locally or seasonally. Sometimes they don't know what to do with the product. But if you have a system in place, like I do in my private Facebook group, and I can talk about that and say, I am going to get you results faster. I'm going to be able to shorten that learning curve so that you become a master CSA member, and you're not going to go through those frustrations and pit holes as badly as a person who doesn't take this training does. Then that becomes an irresistible bonus, right? You can promise, I'm going to give you step-by-step training for how to succeed at using the food every week. So another, what else makes a bonus irresistible? When it gives your customer peace of mind, okay? If it removes stress, or it makes the product or the process less overwhelming, okay? So think about that. If you can find a bonus that hits one or all of those three things, it makes it irresistible. All right, Lynn says that she can see it and hear it, so Jamie, I'm not sure why you can't watch it. So I'm gonna keep moving. I often get the question, how many bonuses should I offer with my core offer? And I say, just as a general rule, usually no more than 2. So I usually try to keep it to just 1 because I feel like sometimes it can confuse the person, but you could probably get away with 2 if you position them differently, and I'll talk about that later. Rules of thumb to follow. This is kind of my catch-all category before I get into like the questions to help you find out what your bonus would be. But rules of thumb is that before you get started with defining your bonus, you want to identify the target of your offer. Okay, that's really important because a bonus for your, let's say, your returning CSA members, let's say you're doing an offer, you're putting together the offer for your early bird customers, right? The bonuses for that particular target audience should be different than the ones that you create for, say, a promo launch that you do to your leads list or to a Facebook community or just people that haven't really warmed up to you a ton. They're going to need different things than the people that have already been on your list, that are in your group, have been with you for several years. They're going to be probably more likely to respond to other kinds of bonuses. So just think about that. Who is the target audience for this offer? And realize that your bonuses should change from promotion to promotion depending on who that target audience is. And then think about the ultimate outcome for your customer as you're shaping the bonus. So what do you want your customers to feel after they've consumed the bonus, okay? And some of these questions that we're going to go through are going to help you get at that. But are they going to feel relieved because you've taken away some of that anxiety, you've made it less overwhelming? Are you going to buy them time and they're going to be grateful for that? So just ask yourself, how do you want those customers to feel? The bonus is an integral piece of your offer, okay? And it should not be an afterthought. It shouldn't be like, oh, I need to add something on here. Take some time to really get creative and think about your bonus. And if you have to spend several hours one day to make the bonus, especially if it's like a digital product, you guys, it might be worth your time, because that particular bonus may be the thing that attracts your customer avatar and finally gets them to sign on the dotted line. So don't be afraid to make an investment in a really nice bonus. You need to figure out your bonuses before you start marketing them, obviously, right? Because you're going to be talking about the bonuses a lot, whether you're on video or you're putting them in emails or in newsletters. You need to be able to refer to them and talk about them during your pitch and your launch period. So you have to know, obviously, what those bonuses are before you start the marketing. And you also need to help your customer understand where the bonus fits into the whole process of growing them. For example, if you've been following the last week where I've been doing a launch of my 3-part workshop series for the Facebook thing, I was talking a lot about the bonus that was available on the front end to be able to get into my own CSA private Facebook group for free, to watch me for the whole season and get ideas. And I kept talking about that. I tried at least to talk about and help the customer, you guys, understand where that bonus fit into the whole process of growing you. Like, this is why that bonus is going to be so valuable for you to get to the finish line, to create a really awesome Facebook group of your own for your CSA. So as you talk about your bonus, in your pitch, you want to try and put it in that context. Help them understand why it matters that they get it, how it's going to help them get better. And then talk about your bonuses a lot. They are, if you make a great one, I mean, sometimes the bonuses are so valuable that you could charge money for them in and of themselves. And if you have a really great bonus, you should be talking about it all the time, because that is often a really valuable piece that lures people in. Okay, and I like to talk about it as if they're getting a steal, by getting that bonus. I like to use the phrase imagine this, imagine that you're going to be able to get inside my Facebook group and see what's going on, peeking over my shoulder. You're going to be able to know what to post in your own group because you're going to see what I'm doing, and you can copy it, and you can see the flow and the sequence, and you're going to be able to see how my community manager works. You see what I'm saying? Like you talk about it, you do kind of what's called future pacing. You get them to imagine the future, how those pain points and problems that they're feeling right now are going to go away because of this bonus. So show them how a bonus will make a difference to them, how it's going to make things faster or easier or just less stressful. Okay, so those are just some general rules of thumb for crafting your bonus. So how do you figure out what the bonuses are going to be? Okay, before I get started on this, I just want to point out to you that I have a cheat sheet for you today, and you can grab it at sharedlegacyfarms.com / hold on, let me look at it, / bonus builder. Now I'm pretty sure you'll have to type in http://www.sharedlegacyfarms.com / bonus builder, because sometimes the 404 error page comes up if you don't put that stuff on the front. So just know that. But this is like a 6-page worksheet that's going to help you go through this material and kind of map it out so that at the end you're going to have a good idea of what your bonus offer could be. All right, so what are the questions that I use to help myself figure out what the bonus will be? And these questions, just so you're wondering, are in this worksheet. You don't have to write them down right now. Okay, they're all in here. And the first one that you could ask yourself, not all of these are going to resonate with you, right? But these are different ways of getting at what a good bonus would be. You want to ask, what obstacles are preventing your customers from getting the most out of your offer before they even get started? Okay, what are some of those obstacles that keep them from getting the most out of your offer? So I'm just to give an example here for me. For people who are coming into CSA, they feel overwhelmed. They don't even know what they're supposed to know, what they're supposed to learn first or think about. They're just kind of green and like idealistic. So for me, I decided that I would create a beginner's guide to CSA ebook. And I kind of have the roadmap to CSA success all mapped out in there. And it's a little ebooklet. I haven't actually printed, I have it written finally, but I'm sending it off to a designer, and they're going to make it look pretty, and I'm going to give that to them. But that was promised to them as part of the offer, because to me, I felt like that's kind of an obstacle that some people are facing. Like, well, yeah, I want to join your CSA, but I don't really know how to do it right. So if I can, in my promise, say, well, as a bonus, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide that's really going to help you figure out how to do this well the first year, or at least get you orienteered, and you'll be able to get through it in 10 minutes. Like, that suddenly sweetens the deal. It's like, oh, okay, all right. So that would be an example of, brainstorming what obstacles are preventing my customer from getting the most out of this experience before they even get started. And maybe I can create a bonus that will help them. Another example would be people don't know their veggies. They're like, well, I see on the harvest calendar that you're going to have all these kind of weird outlier vegetables, and I'm not sure if I like that. So what if, the vegetable storage guide that I've created for my customers, I could actually turn that into a bonus. I could say, this is your bonus. You're going to get the vegetable storage guide, a 54-page document that you can, go through and access. Incidentally, I've had so many requests for people's CSA that it's actually on my Square site now. You can actually go purchase that vegetable storage guide and have copyright digital sharing rights for 1 year for that document, and share it with your group, put it on as a lead magnet, or give it as a resource. So it's just for 1 year. It's through December, but that is something that you can go and get if you want to. So then you don't have to make it. It's a really good tool. The second question that you could ask is, what will bring them deeper after they consume your product? Okay, what's going to take them to the next step in the journey? And again, I create a lot of information products, digital products, as bonuses. So an example of this might be a training series. So if you want to get bold, I'm a big fan of video. Maybe you create a 3-part or 2-part trainings, or just one training video. An example would be kitchen tools of the CSA Masters. Maybe you assemble like 5 or 6 kitchen tools that you think you really need. Like a salad spinner would be really great to have, right? And everyone needs to have, ice cube trays so you can freeze stuff. So kind of walk through, what are those things? Do a video, a 15-minute video, put it up on YouTube and hide it so that people can't find it. Only people who have the link can find it. And then you can tell people, hey, as a bonus, I'm going to give you a training of blah, blah, blah that's going to help you, move along and get ready for CSA so you can use the product, right? So again, what's going to bring them deeper after they consume your product? What's going to help them take the next step in the journey? Does that make sense? Another question you could ask is, what kinds of done-for-you tools, templates, swipe files would your customers love to have to get more out of the experience or product? So again, this is a digital product, right? I know not all of you are like excited about writing stuff, but let me tell you, when you take the time to do this, if you just make 1 or 2 a year, and after 3 years, you've got 6 really awesome digital products that you can be using as lead magnets, you can be using them as bonuses, you can be selling them. So it's worth the effort to put these together. So an example of a done-for-you tool or template might be, like in my case, I created an ebook library for every vegetable. It's like a little booklet, has 3 pages of basics about the vegetable, pictures, infographics, and then I have like 5 recipes at the end. I have one for every single vegetable. It took me a long time to make those, but that is a great done-for-you service. It's like, I have an entire library for you that you can access as a bonus. Or maybe it's just the root crops, for the first season. Or I'm going to give you the greens, or the winter squashes, whatever. So you kind of figure out a theme if it's too many to do them all. Or you can come up with just your own recipe. Maybe you put together your favorite recipes, a collection of your favorite recipes as the farmer's wife, or the top recipes that people have talked about, and that you talk about, hey, this would be a great tool to get you started. And again, the A to Z vegetable guide is another great example. This kind of hits this one too. It's a done-for-you resource that's going to really help them get more out of their experience, because they can go to it and they can just access in one place how to store it, how to handle it, how to prep it, best uses, etc., what it looks like. Another question that you can ask to figure out your perfect bonus is, what is something you get asked a lot by your prospects? So for example, in this case, the bonus is basically going to help answer a frequently asked question and relieve some anxiety, okay? So I was getting questions from people during this season that I would get emails from people who were like, there was this strange green leafy thing in a bag in my box, and I'm not sure what it is. Could you let me know what this is? And sometimes they would even take a picture of it and send it to me. And I kind of got tired of getting those. And part of me was like, listen, I gave you a newsletter, and it's got everything listed in there. Can you do like process of elimination? But there were some people who couldn't distinguish that leafy thing from another leafy thing. So they just wanted to know, what is this? Well, how I got around that, I was like, this might be a really great content piece to create. And so I started creating every week a weekly illustrated guide to what's in your box. And it's sort of like taking that A to Z vegetable guide, but shortening it and trying to fit it onto 3 pages. So there would be a picture of everything, it would be a description, what you can do with it, etc. And I had to make that every week, but that became a really valuable tool that my customers really appreciated. So they would ask me this question, what's something you get asked a lot by your prospects or by your customers? This is something I got asked a lot for, so I created something. And I've actually thought about this could become a bonus someday. I could talk about how, as a bonus, you are going to get a weekly illustrated guide for what's in your box. so that you don't have to stress out. You don't have to wonder, what is this thing? You can identify it visually. I can give you best uses, how to freeze it, how to store it, all in one place. Okay, so that would be another example. And again, it's an information product, but that would be something you could turn into a bonus. Okay, this is a good one. So what is something your client needs before they buy your product? Ask yourself that question. The one that came to mind for me is Debbie Meyer green bags. Okay, so that's one of the things that I personally really love, and I teach my members about them. I encourage them to buy them and get them in their house. And last year, I've been talking about them for a while, but last year I thought to myself, you know what? I am going to buy Debbie Meyer green bags for everyone in my CSA and hand them out on the first week. Now, I know you're freaking out because those are like $7 for a pack of 10 or whatever, or 20. I didn't buy everyone a pack of 20. I probably spent like $300 and bought a whole bunch of these at a discounted rate from somewhere. And then I opened up all the bags and I gave everybody 2 green bags. So there were just 2 green bags that were in their box the first week. And I talked about what they were with them. I'm like, I'm giving you 2 samples, try these out. You guys, people loved that. So that would be an idea. I didn't actually talk about it as a bonus, but that could be something. You could think of a physical product that could be a bonus. But that is something that I feel like everybody needs to have before they even start using my product. Because if it's ready and it's in their kitchen, they're more likely to use it. And I got so much good feedback from people saying, wow, these really work. And then they ended up going and buying a whole pack themselves. So that would be an example. What is something that they need to help them use the product better? Okay, so that's another way of trying to get at a great bonus. So again, green bags would be another example I think that I could put under this category. The Beginner's Guide to CSA Success ebook that I'm creating. I feel like that is something that's going to help a lot of people who are nervous, who are like, what did I just get myself into? So that I can give them this. It's something that they can consume quickly. It's not a huge ebook that's 40 million pages, right? And that's going to just make them feel better about their decision. The private Facebook group, I feel like, is a great example of a bonus because it's going to help my customers succeed. I have a step-by-step process that I teach in there for how to use the product so that they're not overwhelmed. They know I teach them the right things first, right? There's a sequence that we follow, and we teach them certain types of exit strategies, and so that they have these quick wins on the front end that get them excited about, oh my gosh, I'm learning stuff. This is cool. And so that's helping them use the product. So if you can talk about a Facebook group as a bonus, if you know that you have a good Facebook group and that it's doing a lot of cool stuff, you can just say that's my bonus. And you can talk about why it's going to add value within the context of the offer. What do they get the most excited about? This is another question you can ask. What do they get the most excited about? So a good example for this was last fall when I was doing my early bird campaign, trying to get people to sign up. I was asking myself this question: what would really excite my members? What would they just geek out about? And that's kind of hard to do when you've already created all this awesome content. I mean, I've got all these video trainings and cheat sheets and ebooks and blah, blah, blah. So it's sort of like, what else can I give them? I can't say, here's the storage guide again, right? Like, that's not really exciting for them anymore. So that's the challenge for me every year, is how do I create a bonus for my current members that have so much already? But what would they get excited about? And I said, you know what? I bet they would love to get a compilation of all the recipes that have ever been posted this season in our private Facebook group. And so I put my community manager to work on that project. She, spent several days getting that together for me. I turned it into an ebook. It was like 100 pages. And I lured them in with that. I said, listen, I'm going to have this ebook of all the recipes that were shared, kind of like a scrapbook collection of our time together last year that you can save and, reference. And I did a good job of designing it and make it user-friendly to find. I had an index in the back by, categories and stuff. So it was really nice. And it took me a day to format what Katie had given me. It was a good probably 5-6 hours at the computer. But you guys, I got people signing up on the first 2 days. because that was one of the bonuses. I was like, you'll get this if you sign up by the deadline of the early bird. That was my bonus. That was it. That was my bonus. So for the right kind of audience, that would have excited them, right? That was going to excite them, so I created it. And I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, that was 6 hours. But if you're going to be able to get that many people to renew, wouldn't it be worth 6 hours? I think it might. So think about that. Another question you can ask is, what's going to give my customer peace of mind? So again, just think about some of the assets that you could create, or content rituals that you can create within your CSA. Again, the private Facebook group, so I can tell them, you're going to find answers to all your questions. I have a search bar in there that you can type in and pretty much find anything you want, because there's so much data in there from several years. Or I have all these training videos and ebooks, linked up in that group, so you can find information. The weekly unboxings, we do a live video weekly unboxing as part of our gig. Well, you could just say that that's a bonus. We're going to do weekly unboxings every week to help you learn how to use your produce, how to store it. We'll review what it looks like, and you can ask questions live. Why don't you just turn that into a bonus instead of putting it in your offers? Say, this is what we're going to do every week. So that kind of gives people peace of mind, like, okay, I'm going to know how to handle the food. What would get them quicker results? What could be a shortcut for your customers? That's another question you can ask to find that irresistible bonus. What could I create? What could I add in here that's going to give a person quicker results and save them time? This is so valuable. That you guys know that there is a learning curve in the CSA journey. People are not good at it the first year, even with crazy support. Like, I can't turn someone into a CSA master in 1 year, even with the program that I have. But they do move a lot faster through the process as a result of it, right? So I can kind of say, I'm going to shortcut this learning curve for you. And so for me, the Facebook group would be a great example of a bonus that you could use. What would give them not just quicker results in terms of time, but what would save them money? So that's another way that we can think about creating a bonus. Is there something that you can do that would make them feel like they're saving money? Now, a trick to doing this is that you actually raise your price. You say, this is used all the time in online marketing courses or whatever. They'll tell you, our usual price is $999 for this course, but for you, we're going to let you get it for $399. So you feel like the value is this much. You're told that the value is this much, and you're getting a deal. So that's kind of a tactic that you can try using, where you inflate the price of your CSA by like $30, $40, and say, it's really worth all this because of all these features, but for this limited time, you can have it for this much. Now, the downside to that is, I personally feel like you have to have some integrity, and once the bonus period is over, the sign-up period is over, you have to actually go up to that high price. So you need to think about that. You don't want to make the price so high that people are like, yeah, whatever. But I'm always a big fan of increasing the price of CSA in general anyway. All right, so those are some of the questions that you can ask yourself for helping you figure out a good bonus. And now I'm going to jump into actual examples of bonuses that I thought of. And at this point, I would love it if you want to share in the comments right now ideas that you have actually tried in the past. Okay, so what bonuses have you tried in the past? What incentives have you put into your offer to try and get people to sign up? Share those right now in the comments, because I really feel like people are going to love to come back to this post someday and see, the quick answers instead of having to listen to the whole video to hear them from me necessarily. So, all right, so I have them broken up into several categories. You guys are going to freak out. Look at this. I have 2 pages of bonus ideas, okay? So you should be able to find something from this list to get you going, all right? And my hope is that by sharing these with you, you are going to just have your creativity kind of expand. Sometimes you just need someone to look at it a different way and get your mind spinning. So I think I'm going to start with the monetary discount, just because I know that's kind of our default setting. That's where we all go first when we think about bonuses and incentives. Like, oh, I need to give people a discount, a monetary discount. And we do an early bird discount for our farm. I think we offer $10 off. It's not very much. And I usually do every year increase my price by like $10. There was one year that I raised it more just because the Facebook group, in my opinion, had a lot more value. But I usually always increase it every year. And so then the early bird folks, part of the offer is that, well, you're going to get it at this year's price. And next year, if you don't sign up by this deadline, the price is going up and you'll have to pay extra. I know that's a very common one out there. But I've also heard of people doing like coupons, so they can get a coupon for their farm stand or their online store, or something called Market Bucks, which is essentially the same thing. You can have credit for additional items in the store or whatever. And then there's also things like price discounts if you pay in full. That's a common one that I've seen other farms do. We've never actually done that, but that would be one way to do it. So I want you to go beyond the monetary discount, because I actually feel like, I think even next year I may try to not even have an early bird price, because I'm going to try and think of some bonuses that are non-monetary, because I really feel like we as a farmer, we don't have a lot of margin as it is. And so those $10 discounts, those add up. And if there's a way that you can get a bonus where you're not having to take money out of your pocket, I think that's a great idea. So let's dive into some other ones that you can think about. All right, physical products can be bonuses. Now these do sometimes require a purchase, so this is still money out of your pocket. But some examples, like I said, you could offer people like those green bags, right? So you could say you're going to get a product that's actually going to help them use the product later. I know that there are some farms who do t-shirts, and we've been thinking about this, giving everyone a free t-shirt that has a certain phrase on it, so that what's on there is like a branding, not just Share Legacy Farms, but would have a phrase that someone's proud to wear, that shows that they're identifying with your tribe. This is a tactic that's used by a lot of online marketers. Like when I signed up for ConvertKit, which is my email service provider, they had this incentive. If you go through the training program, there were like 5 videos I had to watch and do 5 things to set up my account. Then I could click a box once I was done and I would get a free t-shirt mailed to me. And so this t-shirt says create on it, right? And the very word create makes me feel like, I'm a creator. Like, I'm a content creator, and that's something I value, and I want to be known for that. And I kind of identify with this tribe of ConvertKit, who's all about that. So, is there a word like that you could put on a shirt that people would want and proudly wear? And it's like, not only does it make them feel like I now have a way to help you advertise, right? But not only do I have a cool looking shirt, but the very word itself is something that they want to believe about themselves, and it makes them more loyal to your tribe. So that's just something to think about. I've really been thinking strong. Yeah, it's probably $5 a person, but what are does that help with customer retention? Does that help create this tribe loyalty, this cultural identity among your people? Something to think about. Insulated bags is another physical product that I would recommend considering. So, those grocery bags that you zip up, people need those to pick up their products sometimes. So you could say, hey, that's part of the bonus is that you'll get a free insulated bag from us with our logo on it. And then you can use it to pick up your vegetables. And it gives you an opportunity to talk about how important it is to control the temperature, et cetera, et cetera. What about like a storage guide? So the vegetable storage guide, like the one that I have, for example, what if you had it printed for everyone? And so they got a physical copy of it, and that was given to them on the first day. Something that they could use in their kitchen would be like, I created a laminated, I laminated it, I didn't give it to everyone, but I do have a what's in your fridge, kind of an inventory page that I use on my fridge. I wonder if I can go grab it. But it has, a place where you can write down the stuff that just came out of your box and all the other things that are in your fridge that might be perishable, and I just write it on there. And that way, at a glance, I can kind of see what I have to work with in my freezer and in my fridge. So that was just a one-page PDF that I made, and I ended up laminating it. But that could be, if you think about it, that could be something that you give to everyone as a tool to help them meal plan or to keep track of what's in their fridge. Just an idea. So that's an actual physical product that you could make for everyone. You pick, that's an event. Oh no, this is a thing. Maybe you give them a product like you're going to get a bulk hamper of peppers when pepper season comes in, or a bulk peck basket of tomatoes or something. So there's an actual vegetable product that you know you're going to have in abundance anyway, that you're going to have a hard time getting rid of. And you can just say, hey, there's a bonus. There's going to be a You Pick event. If you sign up by this day, you get to come to the You Pick event for free and get one hamper of whatever as your bonus. Cookbooks. I've heard of people giving cookbooks out, actual real ones that are printed, or, you know, again, this could be something digital that you create, your favorite recipes for each vegetable. A voucher for a fruit bag. Now this costs some money on your end, but you know, if you're willing to lure someone in and say, hey, you're going to get a free fruit bag if you sign up by such and such a day. You know, what does that cost you? Is that worth the price of keeping the lead or getting the lead? A free fall or winter share, or maybe they get entered, or maybe it's like a 20% off or 50% off a vegetable Thanksgiving share or something. And if they sign up by a certain day, they'll get that. Or a bonus share. Maybe it's you get one extra week at the end of the season, or one extra week at the front end of the season. And those shares are, especially on the front end of the season for us, they're usually not as full anyway. So it's kind of a way of not having, there's not as much of an expense, I guess I'm saying. So if you sign up early bird, you're going to get an extra week on the end. So those are like physical products, things people can touch, things you can think about. A third category would be sweepstakes. And I know Emily Dowling mentioned this in one of the groups that I'm in, that you could do a kind of thing where if you sign up by a certain time, you can enter to win. I'll enter your name to win in a sweepstakes, and you have a particular product that you're giving away. So maybe it's a 50% off your CSA share. So one person's going to get 50% off. And if you sign up by this day, everyone will get entered into that drawing. You'll get entered into that drawing, and then I'll pick a name, and that person wins. So that is another kind of category. You can get creative in terms of what the prize is. You want to think about what would my customers really want. But that is an idea. Okay, now I'm just going to dive into digital products. I feel like this is something that I'm an ace at. This is sort of my secret sauce. Examples: an ebook for every vegetable. So, or like I said earlier, for the root crops only, or you could come up with categories if it's too much all at once. The A to Z storage guide, or some version of that, could be a bonus offer. How about a guide to freezing vegetables? I actually created one of those. It's really, really beautiful. I think it's actually prettier than my A to Z guide. I don't really have that out and about yet, because I'm thinking I might actually charge money for it and turn it into a tripwire for like $2. People can buy that. But it may be a bonus at some point too. So you can turn challenges into digital products. So we're doing an instant pot challenge right now in my group, and people are sharing ideas for how they're using their Instant Pot. I'm teaching people through video how to get used to the actual pot itself and the features of it. And I'm hoping that after a few months, once I have all these Instant Pot recipes that people are posting, to compile them all into one, document and turn it into an ebook. So yeah, it's going to take me some time, but I'm kind of thinking long term. Well, that could be a content piece that I create, and maybe one day it could be a bonus. So if you're creating these ebooks out of these challenges, not all of them are going to lure someone in. I don't know if an Instant Pot ebook would cost someone to be like, oh, I want to join, because that's sort of an advanced skill, but it could be a bonus for another kind of offer maybe. So just be thinking about, how can I use challenges, turn those things into ebooks, and then give that away. A swipe file digital product. So for example, this isn't really a swipe file. I don't know why I wrote swipe file. A storage guide just to post on your fridge. So I do have that giant 54-page A to Z vegetable storage guide, but that's a beast, And so what if somebody just wants a quick cheat sheet to stick on their kitchen refrigerator that says, all the vegetables and where would they get stored, so that it all fits on one page. That might be a really nice bonus, because you can hand it to someone and it can be nicely laminated. And like, here you go, this is what you get, use this to help you this year. What about a digital product like a top 3 recipes for each vegetable? So figure out what those are. That might take you a day and a half to make, but it's a quick reference guide. So when someone gets arugula in their box, they can go to that and be like, you know what, my farmer has 3 surefire recipes that she loves, so I'm gonna go check that resource first and try one of those things. Okay, so turning that into a cookbook. Or it could be a list of your favorite home recipes that you, the farmer, use. So I find that people are really fascinated by what I eat and what our family eats. It's sort of like they think that because we're farmers, we eat really good home-cooked meals and that we're really awesome at this. The truth is, I was talking about this with, was it Katie Bishop in the other group? The truth is that I think a lot of us farmers probably don't eat super well in the summer. If you're like me, I am out harvesting all the time. We're doing stuff for farmers markets, and so we're often on the run, eating on the go. But there is this idea that farmers know how to eat and that we eat really well at home. And so, if you have some good home-cooked recipes, your favorites, and things that have been passed down through the generations, maybe you create some kind of classic, my personal recipe guides. People might really think that's neat. Let's see, a template. Okay, so this is getting at the template one. I have created a lot of different cheat sheets that teach people, formula for a perfect salad, formula for how to grill vegetables. And so, what if you created some of those? Maybe you created like 4, and then you gave those as a pack, a template pack to people that would be, again, 1-page cheat sheets that would help them break down, how do you make a quiche? What's the basic formula for a quiche? So that when they get stuff from your box, you can say, well, make this into a quiche. And they can be like, I don't know how to do that. And you can say, yes, you do. I gave you a template. And they can go back and see the basic formula and just, substitute the vegetables. So that's an idea for a bonus, because you'd be promising them a tool that's going to help them move through the product faster. Okay. Video training on a topic. Okay. So don't just think about digital, like e-booky type products, PDFs. It could be a video training. So kind of like what I'm doing right now, guys. Like, look, I have notes, right? I have notes that I prepared. It took me maybe 45 minutes to type these out. And I'm getting in front of a camera and I'm talking about something I know. So you can do that too. You can get in front of a camera live like I do, or just, not live. Record yourself teaching about a topic that you think your customers could benefit from. For example, the kitchen tools of the CSA Masters talk about kitchen tools I think you really need to do well. Create a training out of that and then load it up onto YouTube, and then give people, you can when you load it on YouTube, you can tell YouTube whether you want it to be viewable to the public or searchable, or if you want it to be kind of private. And then you can, share that link with people so that only people with the link can find it. And that can be the bonus. Like, hey, if you join by a certain day, I'm going to give you these 3 trainings to help you get started on how to use your box. And here, I'll give you those links in an email. Okay, so that's something that you can reuse again and again and again. And you can keep adding, different trainings. And then finally, another idea I had was you could have a special guest. If you're using Facebook Live or using video, you could have a special guest on with you to interview them and say, hey, we're gonna do a special video training where I sit down with a chef and we're gonna teach you, 3 ways to get your kids to eat more vegetables, okay? Or something like that. So if you have an expert in your field, or maybe it's a dietitian that you wanna bring into the room, depending on your connections. You might have some really great connections and you could get a whole panel of people in the room on a particular topic about how to eat more healthily, and then you say, I'm going to do a video, we're going to do an interview, live forum, and you're going to get access to that. Okay, so think outside the box. Okay, my next category is affiliate partners. So some people, I've seen this around a lot, we have experimented with this at times too. if you have an affiliate partner, like another farm that you work closely with. So like we work with Weber Ranch, for instance. They provide the eggs for our share. We work with with Eshelman Orchards for our fruit share. And I know that like Mr. Eshelman every year offers me, he's like, hey, if you need help getting signups, you tell them they can have a free peck basket of apples on me if that helps them sign up for your CSA to sign up for a fruit share. So if you have a partnership like that where an affiliate will offer to sweeten the deal and say, I will give you some kind of a bonus. I'll take the hit, so that you can get more people to purchase. Maybe you have a connection with a local restaurant. I know Fallon Fodder has done this with us. They're a local restaurant in Toledo that purchased this product from us. And he has often approached us and said, hey, I was wondering, your customers are kind of my customers, tend to be my customers, so my customer avatar looks a lot like his customer avatar. So it is in his best interest to get in front of my avatar so he can get them to try his restaurant. So he likes to partner with us a lot. And so he has oftentimes offered us, hey, if your customer, you give them this discount code and it'll allow them 5% off at my restaurant for this many months, as many times as they want to come. Okay, so if you have a restaurant that's willing to do that, that could be your bonus. And then just things like a free loaf of bread so again, Fallon Fodder has suggested that to us too, that I'll get a free loaf of bread for them. He's thinking about doing a bread share with us, and we can offer a first week a loaf kind of as a welcome gift. So I don't know, that's not a great example for a bonus because it's just one loaf of bread, but be thinking about what are some of these affiliate partnerships that you can take advantage of. Or Weber Ranch, like I said, they have sort of a buyer's club with us. So, could they do like a discount for that the first time people buy, it could be a discount. It doesn't really work for our CSA, but I wanted to throw that out there because it might really work for your partnerships. Okay, another category to think about for bonuses is extra support. How can a bonus provide extra support? So I've talked a lot about this already, the private Facebook group, creating a private Facebook group for your CSA. I really feel like that has been huge for us. That is the secret sauce. That is where the magic is happening. That is where the customer retention is happening, because we are teaching them how to use their food there. We are giving them the roadmap so that they don't fail or feel like failures. And so, again, I have a training workshop for that. If you want to join that, today is the last day that you can join to learn how to put one of those together and kind of get some hand-holding and some really good coaching for how to kind of do the types of things that I do in my group. You can find that at sharedlegacyfarms.com/workshop until midnight tonight. But the workshop, sometimes an extra support could just be like, not just a private Facebook group, but you could say, hey, I'm going to offer a special workshop, a video workshop, or I'm going to do a special training in a private group that I'll invite all of you into just one time, and I'll teach you this. Or maybe it's a physical workshop where I will let you come to my house and I will teach you how to make pesto. We'll make 4 different kinds of pesto. So that could be a bonus, like an event where they show up. Or a canning workshop. If you have really advanced people and they're ready to learn how to can or how to ferment, that could be a bonus. Other extra support ideas, some of these are digital products again, but like a meal planning guide. So how do you, a resource that you could create to help people decide how to plan their meals. Dietitian services. So if you have a dietitian on your staff like we do who's a community manager, could you work out an arrangement where a bonus could be like, hey, would you be willing to do a workshop series on nutrition, or offer your services at a discounted rate to people who might be interested? This kind of depends on how advanced your customers are. Is there any way that you could do customized services for extra support? So this would really work more for CSAs who are a lot smaller, who are just getting started and are only going to have like 12 to 15 members. But could you offer, as part of your bonus, like, if you sign up by a certain day, you're going to get a 30-minute coaching call with me where I help you kind of teach you some of the things you're going to need to know to succeed at CSA. And during that coaching call, you can get to know them as a customer, figure out what their concerns are and what they want to learn. And that can end up actually being a really good two-way conversation that helps you out too. So a lot of times people like that idea that, oh, I'm going to get a customized coaching call, or I'm going to get 2 coaching calls. Again, I wouldn't do this if you have 150 people, but if you have a smaller number and you can give that amount of time, that might be worth it as a bonus. All right, and my last category is kind of an interesting one to think about, especially if you're more advanced or a more experienced CSA, and that is increased access. So how can a bonus provide increased access to you? I've noticed this especially in the last 2 years as we've gotten to become a stronger and stronger brand, that some of my longtime members, what they want most from me now is access to me. They love my vegetables and they love the training I'm doing, but some of them want to feel special. Some of them want to feel like, I really know the farmer. I'm rubbing shoulders with her. I'm sitting down getting to know her really, really well. And they are looking for ways to have exclusivity with me. And so is there a way that that a bonus could provide this perception of increased access to you, the farmer, so that they feel like I have a greater chance of getting to know them and them getting to know me, so that I feel special, so I can build that relationship. So I know Kurt and I have actually been throwing around the idea of creating special events that are very intimate, like 5 to 6 people, for this purpose. Now, this isn't necessarily a bonus yet, could be eventually, but we've been talking about, doing like whiskey night with Kurt, and I know a bunch of guys would want to do that. But like an event like that where people get special access to you and can do something fun with the farmer, not this massive event with all these people, that could be something, again, if you're a small CSA, that could be something that could be a bonus. That's why the Facebook group, I feel like, is such a great bonus, because it does give special access to us, the farmers, because we're in there all the time and we're teaching and we're commenting and we're engaging. We have a private dinner that we're starting to do where one of our elite chefs in Toledo has a partnership with us. He comes out once a month and does a private dinner for 8 on our property. And again, the people that are coming to that dinner are my core customers. And so I'm starting to think, is there a way that I could scale this kind of thing and offer it as a bonus, or turn it into some kind of an incentive in some way? I'm not really sure how that would work yet, but I wanted to mention it because I feel like it has the potential. People want to have access to you, not necessarily access in terms of like a large event. I think that's good at the beginning, but as they become more and more loyal to you, bonuses that give them special access are especially valuable. So I am going to mention special events. So larger events too can work as bonuses, where I've seen this on other farmer groups where people have said, hey, I'm having a open house event, or I'm going to do a special dinner, a farm dinner, field to table dinner for people who sign up by this date. It's free. You can show up, 2 tickets, and then they absorb the cost of that kind of a meal. We're having a movie night at the farm, or a chili night, where you're making chili over the fire. So be kind of creative. You could use an actual farm event and turn that into a bonus instead. And if you are one of those farms that has like, what's the word? Like a lot of entertainment, an entertainment farm, a lot of things going on at your farm, you could take one of those things that you do, like if you have a corn maze, or if you have, some kind of Christmas event, or a festival weekend. You could create a season pass like for that, and that could be the bonus. So, all right. So just in general, a few final thoughts before I jump into my last positioning section. And we probably have about 10 minutes left. Okay, we're getting to the end. Look at the content that you have already created and already produced, and ask yourself, can I repurpose any of this? So if you write blogs, if you're a blogger and you write something in your newsletter every week, do you have an archive of all of the stuff you've ever written? Could you maybe go through and find different blog posts and combine some of them together that are on a similar topic and create a bonus out of it? So an example of this might be taking all of last season's recipes that you used in the CSA and put them all in one document, and that could be the bonus to lure in, in your promotion, people who've never been in your CSA before. Or it could be, like I have done blog posts about what to do when you have too many tomatoes. Here's 5 things you can do with billions of tomatoes. Here's 5 things you can do when you have pepper overload. What about when you have greens overload? Okay, I know I have at least 3, I might have 3 different blog posts that are on this category of overload. Okay, so if you have enough of those, you could combine them together in one giant resource, package them that way, and say, here's a digital resource that you can have as a bonus that's going to help you when you have veggie overload, right? Specific steps that you can do. So really thinking about how can I take old content that I've already created and bundle it together. If you are already creating video content for your YouTube page on various topics, maybe you can bundle some together that kind of follow a certain stream and sequence of content. Again, put them in such a way that they're private and can only be found when you have the link, and then you share those as your bundled bonus. Okay, watch these 5 videos to get to this place. So sometimes bundling old content can suddenly create a bonus where you didn't realize you had one. And again, series content. So 5 ways to use arugula, 5 ways to use tomatoes, or if you have what are the 5 things that you would want to teach a brand new member who's coming into a CSA? What are the 5 things that they need to know to get orienteered? You could put those in different videos or in different blog posts or articles, stick them all together, boom, you have an ebook, okay? So I hope that is helpful. I think that a lot of times we already have a lot of this content, especially if you've been writing newsletter articles for many years. And maybe it's just a question of thinking about what have I already made and combining it and bundling it into a pack. Another idea is to consider splintering something off of the offer that you already have. So when you put your offer together for this is what's in a CSA membership, you get a box of vegetables, you get access to the bonus table, you get recipes, you get meal plans, you get events. Well, what if you take a break one year and you say, you know what, I'm no longer going to include the events as part of my offer anymore, and now it's the bonus. Or you could have, a certain feature that you've always been providing for people, but you haven't really made it front and center. And for newbies who come into your system, when you do your promotion to brand new people who don't know what you've done in the past, you could just suddenly say, well, now you could splinter something that used to be in an old offer, and you could say, this is my bonus now. They're not going to know that was something that you used to have all the time. So just, be creative and sometimes look at what you're already providing and splinter something out, call it your bonus. And again, if you have a target audience that's new people and you pitch that offer to them, that looks like a really awesome bonus. Okay, let me ask you a question now before I go into my last section. If out of all of those ideas that I've just shared, if there are any of them that have jumped out at you or that you're intrigued by, and I would love to see you write that down in the comments right now, something that you're just thinking about now. You've got a little idea circling around your head, and let me know what those are. I see that some of you guys have written down things, free membership, free farm t-shirt. Yep. Lynn has meal ideas for each type of item, companion list of vegetables that go well together. Ooh, I like that. Free tickets to an event on the farm, free pounds of hamburger with sign up. Yeah, great. So those are some excellent suggestions, Lynn. You're on this. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is how to position your bonus. Okay, this is really important because it's not just a matter of, oh, I'm going to have a bonus and I'm going to stick it on my offer and talk about it during my promotion. You have power in how you position your bonus too. What do I mean by that? Positioning the bonus is all about when you offer the bonus. There is a lot of power in when you offer the bonus. And I think a lot of us initially, like our default setting is, oh, I'm going to put the bonus on the front end offer, and it's going to be good the whole time that the offer is running. But you don't have to do it just that way. You could do things like a fast action bonus, where if you, like this works really well for an early bird sign up, where you have time, you have like 2 or 3 weeks where you're priming the pump, you're sending emails out, you're talking about it in your newsletter, you're sharing it in your Facebook videos about how pretty soon it's going to be time to sign up, and you can begin to let people know it's coming. And you can let them know, hey, there's a special bonus that's going to be around, but it's only going to be around for the first 24 hours when the sign up happens. And so that suddenly positions the bonus in such a way that there's urgency, like, oh my gosh, I need that. Okay, so it causes the person to make a decision to renew earlier rather than later in the end of the pitch. If you do webinars to sell things to your audience, that's a great thing too, to say, hey, there's a fast action bonus. If you sign up during the webinar or before the webinar is over, you get this. Okay, it's another great way to get them to sign up then and now. You can do a 48-hour bonus. So the offer is good for the first 2 days. You could do a pop-up bonus in the middle of your launch. So sometimes promotion periods can run 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and it can kind of get a little stale in the middle. You're not really, the momentum's not there anymore, but if you feel like that's starting to happen, you can pop in with a special bonus that is only good like right there in the middle for a few days, and people get all excited about the offer again, okay? You can also do a final day bonus. So that's often a tactic that I see other digital marketers doing in the online space, where they will pop in on the very last day before the cart closes and say, hey, to sweeten the deal even more, to get those of you who are thinking about it but you weren't sure, I'm going to give one more thing away for free. And then people are like, oh my gosh, I can't help it, I have to sign up. So that can be really, really effective if you find just the right thing and put it there. Now you need to ask yourself, there's also a full pay bonus. So that's something else to think about. If someone pays in full, what could they get something special? And it doesn't always have to be a discount, right? Maybe you don't discount it, but you say, hey, if you pay in full, you're going to get a special access, private meal with me with 12 other people. And maybe you have to do that. Not very many people pay in full anymore, but maybe you're going to have to do like 4 private dinners, but that might be worth it to you to get all that money up front. All right, and then as you're positioning these bonuses, you want to ask yourself, will those who pre-purchased earlier on in the offer, will they get those bonuses too? So if you do things at the end, like a special bonus that comes on the last day, are the people that join on the first day going to get it too? And I think as a rule of thumb, you should do that. You should be rewarding everyone, not just the people who waited to the end. But make sure you ask that question. Also, make sure that when you're putting the bonus up on your sales page or on your website, first of all, put it on your website. Make sure there's a whole section in your website copy that talks about the bonus, okay? The bonus is valuable. Give it its own section, its own graphic. But make sure that you remove the bonus section from the website copy and from the sales page and the cart page and all that description when the bonus goes away, okay? That's important. Sell the pants off your bonuses while they are live, okay? It is the bonuses that get people to finally decide if you have a good one. So talk about them. Talk about them a lot. That's my last word of wisdom. Okay, so finally the last step is execute the bonus. You have to, once you've figured out what you want it to be, you actually have to make it come alive. And so you need to ask yourself, who can help you get that ready? So if it's a PDF document, you may have to actually write that, or maybe you can hire someone out to help you create it. A lot of times I like to talk into like a dictation device, and then it just kind of comes more freely, and then I type it out, or you can send it to someone to transcribe it and then edit it from there. But you have to write it. There may be some actual design work. If it's a digital product, you can send those off to a company called 99 Designs, and for between $100 and $200, they can make that for you. That may be worth it to you if they're going to make it look really pretty and professional looking, and then you've got that forever. And it might help you sell stuff, right? So be aware that there are companies that will help take your copy that you've written and make it look pretty for you. You don't have to sit there and spend all this time trying to learn design software. If it's a person, if you're doing like a training, and you need someone to help you with the training, you need to line those people up, right? Get those interviews ready, or get a video camera, or a tripod. Purchase a tripod for $30, or the adapter that holds your phone. I have a page on mydigitalfarmer.com. If you go there, there's a tools menu bar. You can click on that, and I list the digital videography types of things that I use to help me do video training. So if that's something that you want to do to execute the bonus, you'll need to spend like $30 to get those resources. So come up with a plan for executing the bonus so that you can get it done in time for your deadline, okay? I promised people back in November, when I got people off my leads list to join my CSA. One of my bonus was, hey, I'm going to give you this ebook, the CSA Guide to Success, or the Beginner's Guide to CSA Success. And I told them it's not ready yet. It's going to be ready at the end of February. So I finally wrote it. It's actually late, right? It's mid-March now. But that's an example where I knew what I wanted my bonus to be, but I needed to execute it, right? I needed to take the time to actually make it. So make sure that you build in enough time to get it done so that you can actually get it to your people when you say you will. All right. That is the end of the training. And are there any questions? Let me check for questions. Hope this was helpful. Let me know, again, if you like some of those suggestions that came up earlier for bonus ideas, which ones you want to do. Download my worksheet to walk through this process, and you can get it at sharedlegacyfarms.com/bonusbuilder. You might have to type in http://www before sharedlegacyfarms.com/bonusbuilder. It's one of these quirky things. My new website is really close to being launched for Shared Legacy Farms, 2 more weeks, and we are moving it to a new server so that hopefully these IP issues that some of you are having will go away. I'm going to a new hosting place, and that's going to be ready hopefully in 2 weeks. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and go out now and think about a bonus. If you are putting your CSA offer together and you're about to start promoting, give some time to putting the right bonus together, because it can be the difference between someone deciding to buy right away and someone still sitting on their heels for a while. All right? Have a good week, guys, and don't forget to sign up for my Facebook Mastery class if you want to take that. Tonight is the deadline. sharedlegacyfarms.com/workshop is where you can go to learn more about that and to sign up. Have a good one, guys. Bye.